Saints burst from the tunnel a moment ago. They're set, and we're set as well as the Saints get ready to do battle with Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. This is taken just shy of the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Play action. Haskins. They'll roll him out right. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. Well, these two teams, they met up way back in the season opener. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Second and 10. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37. Well, this defense for the Panthers, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And how'd you like to be the quarterback reviewing the game tape from last week and seeing this defense on the spot on almost every snap? If the ball was in the air, they took it away. If the ball was pop free, they picked it up. 5 takeaways in last week's game.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
A good running there by Kamara on first down as he takes this ahead for a gain of 5. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
Hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early. First drive of the game. We did see this in practice, didn't we? Because they allowed us to stay and watch and see what their opening script would be, even though we don't know the exact play calls. That looks a lot like what we saw them execute, doesn't it?
It really does. And in practice, it wasn't about a lot of big shots on that opening drive. They wanted to put together a series of plays, sustain it. They've done that. The defense now on their heels a little.
That they are. And you know what else is happening now? They're gaining information. They're gaining knowledge about how the defense is planning on playing them. So not only are they being successful on this drive, they're filing things away for future drives in this game.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down. Now keep in mind, they did have 3 interceptions last week. Couldn't quite come up with a first quarter pick that time.
But they had to like what they saw in terms of reacting when the ball is thrown. We had an expression when I played. It was called break on it. Every time the quarterback puts the ball in the air, break on the football. Go make a play and accumulate those interceptions.
Former defensive back. You remember those 3 interception games. It can be contagious, give you a little momentum.
They really can, and it doesn't matter whether it's one person or if you spread them across your entire defense, everybody wants a piece of that pie. Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
And that one will be no good. He never had it on line. It's well wide to the left, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Partner, doesn't seem like it, but that's a tough spot for a kicker. First drive of the game, and they're calling on him. He should be warmed up. He should be into the game, but sometimes it's almost like, oh, what, now already? Can't they put it in the end zone? What's going on here?
Yeah, and he's probably saying, if you can't get it in the end zone, can you give me a 30, 40-yarder? But a long one, and he can't connect. Well, now they'll start 3 yards shy of midfield after that long 57-yard miss. A first carry now for Kofrani Muhammad. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally brought down at the 31-yard line.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches. Meeting the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. In lieu of the sneak on 4th and inches, they just say, give it to the big man in the backfield.
Yeah, fullback no less. Not many of those left in the NFL, but for those that have one, perfect time to use them, perfect time to get it done.
They'll try the air now with Newton. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he will take it across for a Panthers on the year. And the Panthers are going to take a first quarter lead. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. Taken from about the 12. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
On play action, Haskins. He'll buy some time right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Scramble drill there, partner. Some teams have some pretty good rules for it. Others are just saying, make sure you work your way back into the sight lines of your quarterback, even if you take the play deep. And that's what they attempted to do on that one, unable to connect.
Here's Haskins to throw. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now fourth down. Blake Gillikin on to punt now on fourth down. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing in these.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Saints are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. On the counter, here's Kamara. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Looking to throw, Haskins. That's complete to Troutman, right side. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, the coverage was tight that time. They allowed the pass underneath to him, but they rallied to him pretty fast, too. Converged on him and got him down. That'll bring up 4th down.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll try and throw for it with Haskins. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively at 2nd down. These two teams, they met in Charlotte earlier in the year with the Panthers coming out on top. So they'll be looking for the win here in New Orleans to complete the season sweep. On 2nd down now, it's Hubbard. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You foresee incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Now a play fake, and it's Newton. Rolling to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And it'll be caught in the end zone for the Carolina touchdown by DJ Moore. DJ Moore with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Panthers add on to their lead. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. Fielded right around the 8. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They go play action now. Haskins sliding out of the pocket. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
The Saints on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11. Oh, he'll look downfield for Kamara. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the Panthers are going to have it here just past the 25. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
On first down, Muhammad. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage. But every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
Paulson Adebo up to make the stop. Coming up on 2nd and 7. Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. And he's got this down to the 35.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Now after the run by Hunt, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Taken down by Pete Werner.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. On 2nd and 9, Newton on the screen. This is Cannon. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. Going for Boykin, but it is intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And he'll get this back across the midfield, striping down to the 47-yard line.
And that's not the second time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively. And you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
Now after the turnover, here's Haskins. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the Panthers are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here, 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning them into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
40 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
On 2nd down, it's Logan. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field. Play action. It's Newton. The 20. Touchdown, Carolina. Here so far. And the Panthers add on to their lead. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and it's now 21-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. Looking up into the roof, and he muffs it. It's loose. Taken from about the 12. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say that great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
I was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
To throw again on second down. Haskins. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On first down, it's Haskins. That's complete over the middle to Callaway. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's second down. Haskins back to the air. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
As we've seen, their first 2 drives didn't yield anything points-wise. Certainly feels like they think to themselves, it's time to open this thing up, taking the big shot downfield.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Haskins will throw. Looking long for Thomas. And it's a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is taken at the 18. 54 yards on the punt, 12 on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. Off play action. Newton. He's going to look deep for more. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They fake the give. Newton. And going deep downfield for Boykin. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45. Visiting Panthers taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they get the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Newton. He's got his tight end. It's Tommy Tremble. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
They'll run on first down. Logan. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
On first down, Muhammad. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Newton. They'll roll him out right. Working downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 25-yard line.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
A first carry for Trenton Cannon, and he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. They'll go option to the short side, and they'll run on first down with Hubbard. And he will take it across for a Panthers here. And the Panthers take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that makes the score 28-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. Pulls it in at the 13. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Kamara gets it again on second down. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 3rd and 1, it's Haskins. Over the middle, complete. It's Newton. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it'll be 4th down. And they'll indeed go for it with Haskins. He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. Thomas has got it, complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
Again, it's Haskins, escaping the pressure right. Oh, look at Thomas, wide open. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
And that is, you are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. Now they'll toss it out right to Kamara. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
2nd down, and it's Kamara again. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, so from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8. Now Haskins. Haskins hit, and he lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Here we go. It's Haskins on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Panthers will get the football back. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. Off play action. Newton, he'll buy some time right. And he'll just get rid of it. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Newton rolling to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And it looked like he got the feet down, did he? Yes, it's a catch. A big connection on that one. 37 yards. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. To throw is Newton. Checks this down to Hubbard. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Man, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one. A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They've been trying and trying, but they haven't sacked him yet. He's been able to get away and make plays. Tried to make another one downfield right there, but to no avail. They'll have to keep up the pursuit, though, and not let him get hot.
Gonzalez out now to try the Panther field goal. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. Gonzalez's kick is good. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
From the 6. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now it's Haskins. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Oh, he didn't spike it. He faked it. Binds, and he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Derek Brown, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Now it's Kamara in the passing game. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That is caught by Callaway. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Oh, he fakes a spike. Rush coming, and he's taken down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
A hole to dig out of here, 2nd and 17. Another try after the first down sack. Haskins, open man is the tight end Troutman. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Yet again, Haskins is intercepted, 3rd time. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And the Panthers force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan. So this one is over. A victory for Carolina. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about it.